I'm AC Eglund. Only in Newsday, the case against the man accused of raping and killing Long Island teenager Teresa Fusco decades ago can now move forward. Defense attorneys for Richard Bilodeau wanted it tossed. They argue that evidence presented to the grand jury was not enough to secure an indictment, but the judge did not agree. Prosecutors say a DNA match linked the Santa Mauritius man to the 1984 killing of the 16-year-old. Bilodeau was arrested in October. It's a story Newsday has covered extensively over the years, and now a new Navy facility to treat a groundwater plume on Long Island is up and running. The plume is about 4 miles long, 2 miles wide, and 900 feet deep. The $46 million groundwater treatment facility in Bethpage removes the contaminated groundwater and brings it up to drinking water standards.
We actually see the results of the plant, even though it's been running not that long. Our groundwater contamination has changed.
Coming up, what happens next in the cleanup process and what it means for residents. Only in Newsday, the South Country School District is considering a double-digit tax increase to make up for a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall. Two additional options are also on the table: a smaller increase with deep program and staff cuts, or a nearly 10% increase with $3 million in cuts. The board is expected to adopt a budget proposal next week. The long-closed Dowling College property in Oakdale is for sale. It hit the market through a Woodbury-based realty company, which is soliciting offers through June 30th. The sale price has not been made public. We'll see if you have what it takes to become one of the island's bravest. Volunteer firehouses open their doors for Recruit NY this weekend in hopes of boosting their ranks. Many local firehouses are facing a shortage of volunteers. All right, how's this for a deal? See a movie this weekend for just $7. The Island 16 Cinema Deluxe in Holtzville is selling $7 movie tickets tomorrow, along with $7 small popcorn and drink combos. Haven't seen that in years. The deal is good for any movie in any format at any time, with just one exception. Event cinema screenings are not part of that deal, but $7, hey, that's not bad.
I used to go to Island 16 like every Tuesday night. That was like the family thing. And then, we got a little busy. And
yes, things changed. Prices have changed.
Yes.
You can't see a movie for $7. You can see a movie for like $21. So that's a great deal.
Yes.
Great deal has been this weather the past couple of days. It's been so nice, but meteorologist Jeff Vanson's here to tell us we have changes.
I think most of us know, this is not Long Island spring weather. This has been a treat, and it's going to come to an end at some point here, but slowly it comes to an end. We've got another pretty mild day out there. Couple of sprinkles moving across the island this morning. Hey, 82 degrees yesterday. How about that? First, that's beach weather. Let's take a look at Cooper's Beach, and it's a beautiful morning right there. Almost has that like tropical Caribbean looking vibe with some of those clouds out there. It's a really pretty shot. Let's go take a look at your almanac from yesterday. We had 82 degrees at Islip. That is well above average for this time of year. We're around 59 degrees. We're going to start coming back down towards that as we head towards the weekend. The record, actually not even really close, 94 in 2002. So you can get some real steamy April days here. I actually remember that. I was in middle school. I remember playing baseball, and it was incredibly hot out. Taking a look at your precip chances, and we actually do need the precip here across the island. We could use that rain. We'll get a little bit this morning, and then you can see those numbers come up a smidge this afternoon. There could be pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but it's actually going to be a pretty decent day overall. This is what I was referring to here. Much of Long Island has been abnormally dry, and you see this little tan color here now for parts of Nassau County into New York City. That is a moderate drought. So if we don't get rain soon, we'll start seeing that color kind of moving across the rest of the island. Here's the rainfall right now, and as you can see, it's generally light. There's some heavier stuff up to the north across New England. It'll move across. Hasn't gotten to Cooper's Beach yet. That's why you saw a little bit of sun out there, but quick sprinkle or two, and then we'll clear it out as we head into the afternoon. The sun will come out. It will be warm, a little bit on the muggier side, and then come about 1 or 2 p.m., you're going to start to see those showers popping up across the island. There they are right there. Not going to rule out a rumble of thunder as well. Maybe a downpour. Watch this last little batch here. If I can advance, really having some trouble with the clicker this morning. There we have it. You can see a couple of heavier radar returns there towards the east end, maybe some thunderstorms in that, and then we're starting to dry things out as we head towards tonight. It'll be a pretty decent day tomorrow, but a cooler day, 62 degrees, sunshine in the morning, but clouding up a bit in the afternoon. Better of the 2 days. It'll be cooler on Sunday, especially come later in the day. There'll be some showers around in the morning and a high of 54. The rain will turn a little bit heavier later in the day as well. This is all coming with a big front. We've had those fronts north of the island all week. That's allowed that warm surge of air. Now they're starting to come through. We have one that comes through today and a more significant one on Sunday that will bring that rain, and it will really usher in some chilly air as we head into next week. Forecast today across the island, temperatures still balmy. 70s for most, a little bit cooler towards the east end. Tonight we'll drop down into the 40s under partly cloudy skies. So sort of the first shot of cooler air. Look at the numbers for tomorrow. Not nearly as warm as today. Let's see if we can get you those numbers. There they are. We'll be in the 50s and 60s out there. And then with that secondary cold front on Sunday, the temperatures drop down once more as we look at your 7-day forecast. There's the rain on Sunday, drying out Monday, maybe a leftover shower early in the day. 50 degrees for your high both Monday and Tuesday. Overnight temperatures could get close to freezing. We'll have to watch out for that. I know everyone's itching to get outside, garden, put those plants in the ground. I'm one of those people, but maybe wait off until middle to end of next week if you can, because the temperatures do moderate by Wednesday, Earth Day, and Thursday.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
I'm Macy Egland. A new facility to treat a groundwater plume on Long Island is now up and running after officials had been fighting for decades to get it cleaned up. Our Virginia Huey spoke to residents who are feeling hopeful that this will work.
I should have done it a long time ago.
Ted Beal says the Navy's installation of a water treatment facility in Bethpage is long overdue. Beal, who's lived in Bethpage for 50-plus years, blames Grumman's toxic plume for his son's eye cancer.
I think it was probably from the pollution from Grumman's, because he was very athletic on the baseball field, swimming in the pool, all that kind of stuff.
The groundwater plume, which originated from Grumman's aircraft manufacturing facility, is more than 4 miles long and 2 miles wide, extending as far as 900 feet below the surface. A 2020 Newsday investigation found the aerospace giant knew as far back as the mid-1970s that its toxic chemicals were contaminating area groundwater, but kept the information secret.
We made little progress.
For more than 40 years, residents, environmentalists, and politicians demanded a cleanup plan.
This area right here, that's where my house is. Leaders and the government can't come to a resolution.
Today, a $46 million treatment facility on Union Avenue is up and running. The Navy is footing the bill. The 9,600 square foot plant is designed to contain the spread of the toxic plume and remediate contamination. 3 million gallons of groundwater will be treated daily. The plant's remediation systems target volatile organic compounds, including TCE and 1,4-dioxane and other contaminants, which leached into the ground for decades, beginning with aircraft production on the site in the 1940s.
This is really a good day to celebrate because this is the longest, widest, deepest plume in the history of Long Island, and to have these wells now installed and remediating that contamination is really a landmark day for this process.
It should have been fixed a long time ago.
40-year Bethpage resident Peggy Pollock says after worrying about her water quality for decades, the treatment facility brings some relief.
Absolutely, yeah. Been very hopeful that it will and will do the right thing, for sure.
Residents have called for health studies claiming there are cancer cases that are related to Grumman's pollution, but there has not been any conclusive proof. State investigators have never found a direct link between the Grumman pollution and higher cancer rates in the community. For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
It's been a big concern for a long time. Joining me now to take a deeper dive into this topic is Newsday Towns reporter Joseph Ostapiuk and Bethpage Water District Superintendent Mike Bufus. Thank you both for being here with us to chat about this. Joe, we'll start with you. If you could just give us a little more background about how this plume started for people who don't know.
So Grumman Aerospace, the predecessor to Northrop Grumman, operated on a 609-acre plot in Bethpage for aircraft manufacturing beginning in the 1940s that extended through the 1990s. From that process, the company dumped toxic materials into the soil that leach into the groundwater, and that's how we have the plume that we know today.
It was hidden for a long time, a concern that we didn't know we even needed to have at the time. Mike, explain for us how this system will work in cleaning it up now.
So the premise behind this system is to remove the contaminated groundwater, treat it to drinking water standards, and then re-inject it or reintroduce it into the aquifer as clean water so it's not wasted. And then that will prevent the spread of the contamination moving further south.
Okay. Joe, put into perspective for us just how big this plume is.
Yeah, so the plume is around 4 miles long, a little bit more than that based on 2019 data, 2 miles wide, and it goes as far as 900 feet deep, so rather deep into the soil. And we also found that it slowly migrates south.
So, Mike, where do we stand today in this cleanup? Like, so far, how much progress has been made?
Well, this is a huge milestone for the startup of this plant. We actually see the results of the plant, even though it's been running not that long. Our groundwater contamination has changed, what we're withdrawing at our pump stations.
Mike, what do you want residents in Bethpage to know about this cleanup process?
Well, it's taken a long time.
Yeah.
And the residents, when they call me and I speak to them or go to their homes, they're frustrated. I'm not going to say the frustration is over, but it's taken a long time for us to get to this point, but this is what needed to happen. We've investigated the plume, and this is the final stage to knock down the mass. Probably 95% of the mass of this contamination will be treated from these 6 wells.
Again, the Navy is paying for this facility.
Yes.
So thank you all for your participation in this important topic, of course. Our Newsday Towns reporter Joseph Ostapiuk and Water District Superintendent Mike Bufus. You can read more about the cleanup of the Grumman plume on our website, newsday.com.
Feed Me is brought to you by GL Homes, a reputation built on quality and trust since 1976.
We are searching for the best sushi on Long Island. Newsday food writers Erica Marcus and Maria Elena Martinez take us to Huntington.
We have convened this meeting because we are publishing our best sushi list. And we wanted to talk about sushi and how you get onto that list. We're here at Enzo no Sacco,
which is a lovely new spot in Huntington.
Right, it's the newest place on the list. Thank you. I always get the chirashi.
I know, so I've started copying you because I think it's such a fabulous way to judge a sushi spot.
Let's start to dig in.
I always like a starter that's a sashimi dish.
And why is that?
I just feel like you can tell exactly what kind of fish you're getting. You can taste it, it's clean, and this is a carpaccio, which is a yellowtail derivative with jalapeno and a little bit of ponzu.
I think we're agreed that first and foremost, the fish has to be fresh.
Yes, super, super fresh fish.
But also variety, because there's nothing more dispiriting than ordering sushi and just getting tuna, yellowtail, and salmon.
Fair.
Like, I want them to really be enthusiastic and passionate about fish.
A lot of restaurants on Long Island do all of these crazy, dynamic, dynamite rolls.
I went to a very popular sushi restaurant, and I actually asked the owners, like, what is with this? And he told me Long Islanders actually, for the most part, they like to go out for sushi, but they actually don't love the taste of fish. So
they love the taste of avocado, and cucumber, and crunchies, and soy sauce, and ponzu.
Exactly. Now this is smoked ocean trout, and I am happy to say that this chirashi has no salmon, because they don't eat salmon in Japan.
Can I have your other ocean trout? You can taste the fish.
This is an omelet. And this is a test of the sushi maker's skill. Like, a good sushi chef will really labor over making this tender and delicious. I think this is a really good addition to the scene.
I'm very excited that it's somewhat local to me. This is Maria Elena Martinez.
And Erica Marcus for Newsday TV.
If you want more from our sushi list, visit newsday.com/feedme.
All right, the Knicks are getting ready for Game 1 in their first-round playoff series with the Hawks. And Newsday Knicks beat writer Steve Popper likes Jalen Brunson and New York's chances.
We're here as the Knicks are prepping for their series with the Atlanta Hawks, opening round series of the playoffs. And look, we're 82 games in, and this is really where the season begins for the Knicks. For everything they accomplished this year, the 53 wins, the NBA Cup, what this team was built for was for a playoff run. And it starts with a team that they should be able to beat, the Atlanta Hawks. They've won 2 out of 3 from this season. They match up very well with them on paper. As good as Atlanta is with their starting lineup, they don't have the depth, they don't have the size in the interior that the Knicks have and can give them problems with. And they don't have Jalen Brunson, who, look, Jalen Johnson is a young superstar on the rise for the Hawks, but Jalen Brunson is the experienced star All-NBA guy here who has controlled playoff series in the past. I think with those advantages, the Knicks will get through this series. It's a challenge. It's going to be a fight. And I think a young Hawks team is going to get their first taste without Trae Young like they had a couple of years ago of what it can be like coming to Madison Square Garden on Saturday night. The atmosphere, the excitement, the energy, the venom pointed their way. And I think this will be a series the Knicks get through, but it's not about a first-round series. This team is built to get to the finals. That's sort of the edict that was put in front of them, and this is the first step.
Game 1 is tomorrow at the Garden. You can read more about the Knicks playoff run on Newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see there. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
The Newsday Critics Pick Award means we've already done the work. Every cuisine, every budget, reviews you can trust. And right now, Newsday's critics have picked the best sushi on Long Island. Find the full list at newsday.com/sushi. That's newsday.com/sushi.